It's me, Mrs. Burns, and I'm here with our classroom cooking lesson. This lesson we would normally be doing in school, especially if you're in kindergarten or in one of my ABL classes. But because we're staying safe and staying home, we're going to do it this way. I hope you'll try it without me at home with your grown-ups, whoever you live with, or a much older brother and sister. But for right now, I'm just going to show you what we do and how we do it. Our activity today is making Rice Krispie treats. When we do it in school, we create the Rice Krispie snacks and stuff them into colorful Easter eggs. And then when they cool, we eat them. But you'll also be able to, at home, use a cookie cutter or something like this to make shapes if you want. Or you can simply, at the end, put them in a pan, cut them up, and munch on them. Either way, they're delicious. This recipe only has 3 ingredients: butter, marshmallows, and Rice Krispies. When I do it at home and when I come to your classroom, we use strawberry Krispies because they make a nice pink crispy. If you don't happen to have those at home, or if you don't like strawberry, and if you're lucky enough to have these plain ones, which you can get in school, in your breakfast, don't forget to pick up your breakfast and lunch at school, you can use these, and to turn them other colors, you can add things like grape jelly, or orange marmalade for orange to make different color Krispies. But for today, we're just going to use the strawberry. The first thing we need is 3 tablespoons of butter. I don't want you to worry about measuring because on every butter packet are these little lines. Each of these lines means 1 tablespoon. So we know that 1, 2, 3 is 3 tablespoons. And that is all we're going to need for our recipe today. The first thing we do, and again, this part you should always do with your big person, an older brother or sister, or a grown-up that you live with. The first thing we do is we melt the butter in a pan on a low temperature. Now, if you only have a microwave to cook with, you can also do it in the microwave oven, 1 minute at a time until your butter is melted. I'll let you know as soon as we're ready to go for our next step. So our butter is now melted in our pan, and it's time to add our marshmallows. We add all of the 10 ounces right in here, and we're going to stir it constantly until it melts. Now this might take a few minutes, but you want to wait and you want to be patient. If you turn it up too high to make it go faster, you're likely to burn, and we certainly don't want to burn. The marshmallows are going to look super sticky, and you're going to be dying to try some, but they're also very hot. So I'm going to work hard to get these melted, and then our next step in a few minutes will be to add to the Krispies. I have to watch this. So as you can see, the marshmallows are melting, but we still see roundness. Not quite yet. We still have to keep stirring, but they will be ready very soon. As you can see, our marshmallows are totally melted along with our butter. It's a little bit brown, but that doesn't matter. If you're doing this in the microwave, you would do it the same way, but you would just stir in between times of the microwave. And I would say you never want to put it at more than 1 minute in between stirs. It might take you a little longer, but that way it's not going to burn and you'll still get a good crispy treat. Our last ingredient is our strawberry Krispies. Our recipe calls for 6 cups. For this measuring, we use what's called a dry measure. A dry measure measures dry things. We have a different kind that has a cup with a spout for a wet measure or a liquid measure. But for this purposes, dry measure works just as good. Every dry measure has a label right on here that says what size it is. I've chosen the 1 cup. Now, if we were at school, you would help me to measure. And since you're not here, maybe you want to count with me. We need 6 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's plenty of Krispies in here for breakfast another day. what we do now is we want to stir that really well. And we want to stir with a scooping method to scoop the marshmallow on the bottom into the Krispies at the top. If you just stir in a circle, it doesn't work as well. This is the best way to do it. We want to scoop and stir. Scoop and stir. Now, even if you melt everything in the microwave, this is still the best way to stir in the Krispies. This is one of my favorite things to make at Easter time. Well, it's not really health food, but it's nice because of how we celebrate the spring of Easter. And if you were here, you would know how wonderful the smell is of the strawberries. As you can see, the marshmallows are starting to cool and becoming kind of elasticy. That's just perfect. At this point, your cooking and preparation is done. If we were at school once again, each of you would have a plastic Easter egg, and I would give you a scoop to put your Krispies inside. You'd have gloves on. In your own home, it's okay if you just wash your hands really, really well with soap and water and then dry them off. If you do have gloves at home and you want to use them, that's perfect. You will scoop it into both sides of the Easter egg if you have one. Now it is sticky. It's kind of a lot worse than Play-Doh even. Get it all in there. Fill both sides. When you get it in both sides, do the best you can to close it up nice and tight. Just like that. Yeah, very good. Just like that. And then put it aside. We're going to leave that till tomorrow. You can leave it on the counter or you can put it in your refrigerator. It doesn't matter either way. It's going to be great. For the rest of those, we're just going to put them into a pan. Put them right in. The size of the pan depends on how fat you want your crispy treats to be. If you're going to share with a lot of people, maybe you want a bigger pan so that they go a little thinner, so you can spread them out more. But for now, I'm just going to put them in this pan. We don't have a lot of people in our house, so I'm going to get to eat most of them. Spread them out. They're very sticky. And you let them sit. You're going to let them sit where they can cool off, either on the counter or in your refrigerator. Once they're totally cool, you can cut them into squares with a knife. Ask your grown-up to do that. Or you can use a shape or a cookie cutter or even just an upside down glass to make circles, and you can make shaped Rice Krispie treats. I really hope you'll try this cooking at home. I miss you all, and I can't wait until we're back classroom cooking again. Until then, this is Mrs. Burns signing off for Classroom Cooking. Later on, we are going to have a special treat for Easter, but more about that later.